Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. So a good video today. Polkadot community, we want to talk about, are we going to see the first $1 trillion cryptocurrency and what would that look like? And a project I've been involved with, Btcmyk, I believe that it would in the future look something like that. But I found this interesting. This is a project I've been following. Of course, when you're talking about projects like this, you're going to need to be able to scale because of the large amount of users you're probably going to have, a large amount of transactions being done. So you're definitely not going to want an Ethereum type chain for this. Right now, Polkadot seems to be the future that's going to use parachain technology and allow scaling to happen, allow low transaction costs, something that Ethereum is having a lot of trouble with these days. And although the price is still running up, I think a lot of the nature of the cryptocurrency space has become more so based on the speculative and gambling arena than the technology and utility arena, right? And I think that will self-correct in the future. And I think because it hasn't as of yet, it's part of the reason why we haven't seen the great growth of cryptocurrency like we should. But let's talk about that today. Let's talk about some of the problems when you're looking at a project like Polkadot that goes up very high in value. And we have a chain link situation where we gain so much mass, we basically end up in a situation where we can have the price stagnate. Polkadot's done very, very well. It's went from, literally a little bit over 30 days, it's went all the way up to about a $5 billion market cap, almost $6 billion actually, and now it's hovering around $4 billion as we speak, which is still very impressive. It made a lot of people a lot of money. Now, Polkadot is running into a similar issue, what is like Chainlink, right? And it's going to start to get into this dominant situation with Ethereum, and as it gains against Ethereum, I would imagine we're going to see probably the value of Ethereum somewhat reduce as Polkadot value goes up a bit. But this is the technology of the future, and whereas the amount of mass that many cryptocurrencies have, our project Btcmyk will run on the Polkadot chain. So what you're going to have is you're going to have many of these now basic income coins that have the ability to mass adopt. And how do we know this? Why are we so confident about this? Well, it's not just us, it's many economists now switching over to ideas like this, right? We're witnessing it in our global pandemic as of here that we're dealing with now, where stimulus packages have had to be released in various countries. Universal basic income has been called into action. And these are global crises that require solutions and answers. And we believe that cryptocurrency is going to be one way to deliver on that. But let's get into good coins, good dollars history a little bit real quick, because I think it's very important that we start to understand the beginning of what's happening here. So good dollar came about as a project that was funded by Etoro. Now, if you're not familiar with Etoro is a very famous brokerage house that did a lot of very famous cryptocurrency commercials with some big actors like Alec Baldwin. Did some of the best marketing I've seen in cryptocurrency. Of course, one of the huge problems with cryptocurrency being the more decentralized the network is, the less people are having incentive to market for it. You know, the throwback, the setbacks of or the downsides of capitalism, right? Everybody has to be getting some value, getting paid to do something, right? So what it can do is stagnate the space a bit, right? But every now and then, some people become less selfish and they care more about the advancement of human beings and technology than speculation and gambling. And you get projects like this when it happens. Right now, universal basic income has been done in cryptocurrency before. It hasn't worked well. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the reasons why it did not work well. And some of the changes and differences now why we believe it's going to work fantastic. And one reason has to do with something I'm not a fan of, but something Good Dollar seems to be going to incorporate into this, and that's DeFinance, decentralized finance, DeFi, right? So they're going to use this ability to yield to help fund their universal basic income. Now, BtcmyK, we welcome wide arms all universal basic income programs. There's not really any competition there between universal basic income projects, because we believe what will happen in the future is we'll see many of these create a network together and we'll intertrade, and most people will use all the universal basic. Of course, you want to get as much advantages as you can and as much benefit as you can, right? So we believe everybody will just kind of happily use everybody's universal basic income project, right? So it's a little bit different from your standard tribalism in cryptocurrency and coins when you're dealing with these type of projects. The problem I have with DeFi has to do with research that went out to the SEC talking about the large amount of wash trading and margin problems that aren't there, right? That a lot of false trading. So what's happening with in decentralized finance is a lot of these systems are basically taking advantage of the arbitrage in those markets. That's to say, the differences in the spreads, they believe that there is a profit to be made. The problem is that the profit could be smoke and mirrors, meaning that the value's not really there. Also, bear in mind, there are only about 400,000 people participating in the DeFi space, right? So I believe it's more hype than bite in DeFi right now. So I believe these are things going to set a good dollar back. However, I still think it's a great start to get attention to basic income cryptocurrencies. They have the best chance of adopting. And BtcmyK on the Polkadot network, I believe, will be one of the first cryptocurrencies to do that and probably reach around $1 trillion. I believe that's going to be very realistic, right? So those are some of the setbacks I think with Good Dollar. Also the funding. I believe they only got $1 million from Etoro. Is this going to catch fire? I don't know, right? I don't know. But again, the more of these pop up, the more it's going to get in the bloodstream of cryptocurrency. We're going to see more of that, and I believe we're going to have a better chance of mass adoption.